Hello, everybody. Quick question for you. How many of you out there as business owners are trying to adjust to using a remote workforce or employees that are working remotely? Yes, many of us are adapting to a new reality and dealing with what was an unforeseen reality just 4 to 6 weeks ago. We may be implementing business continuity plans if you have one, or even learning what you need for a business continuity plan. The COVID-19 situation has certainly altered the business landscape for many businesses, probably not only just now, but more so into the future in evaluating their business. Hello, everybody. My name is Scott Reeb. I am the co-founder and chief technology officer for MindSpout. We're a managed IT service company, cybersecurity consulting firm. Today, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what it looks like to manage a remote workforce, what that looks like to safely and securely do that. And like many businesses during this global pandemic, you may be trying to figure out, well, first of all, is my business essential or not? Are my employees essential or are they not? Who can work from home and how do they do that? How do they work from home? Do I need to supply equipment? Do I need to supply the webcams or the laptops? And probably many other questions. It's unfortunately probably more questions than you anticipated having to answer. And I completely understand. I want to offer some practical advice to hopefully help you answer some of those questions and give you some ideas on how to effectively manage the team that's working from home. And one of the key things for any business, not just in a global pandemic like this, I mean, really all the time, but especially during this time, is communication. You need to communicate with your employees, your staff, because just like you, they're probably wondering what's going to happen. They're wondering what's going to happen to their job, to the business, to their health, to family. So they have a lot of questions as well. So take the time to increase your communication with your team. Take the time to understand that they're probably just as nervous and scared as you. And they don't know what to expect. So to communicate with them, set the stage for open communication, clearly define what the expectations are going to be, both now and into the future, as this continues to evolve and take shape, and build that deeper trust with your team in an otherwise uncertain time. And you know, when you do that, that allows for open communication back from them when they know that relationship and that trust is there, that you're open to hearing. And if you have people working from home or their home office, make sure you make a conscious effort to include those remote workers and bring them in. Use the tools at hand, the Skype for Business, the Microsoft Teams, the Zooms, the GoToMeetings. Use those tools to make sure that it's still a team, that people still feel like they're together and it's one big unit working towards a common goal. And I wanted to go over 4 basic strategies that can be used for remote work. Just talk a little bit about them. And first and foremost, you need to create a safe, effective foundation for remote digital access. Now, it's easier said than done. There's a lot of moving pieces to this, and we could talk about this for hours, but I'm going to go over just 3 things real quick. And first and foremost, create the secure access to IT resources that are needed as within the business as well as the internet itself. Oftentimes, your employees working from home may not have adequate remote access and internet, secure internet, and you want to make sure that is the case, whether that's a VPN or some other tool. And VPNs tend to be the easiest way to make that happen, but don't assume that people working from home have the appropriate access they need to get in to the resources they need to do their job. Be prepared to invest in the short term to help your remote staff accomplish the daily job tasks. And again, that's whether it be helping them with upgrading their internet, whether it be VPNs, whatever it may be. Just be prepared to maybe have to spend a little bit upfront. If you don't already have it, clearly articulate a remote worker policy and a plan. And again, many businesses may not have even had this on their radar or thought about this, but it's important to have that policy because now you've got remote workers. So what are they expected to do? It comes back to the communication. I'm actually going to post a link in the comments to a quick little article that talks about some of the different resources you may be able to use or look at to help with this. The big one is remote work devices, laptops, tablets, smartphones, desktops, webcams, headgear. There's a lot. And your specific business operations will dictate what is needed to function properly. But you really have two options. There's a company supplied, or there's your own personal devices. Obviously, company owned can be more secure. You have some control over the security parameters that a personal device you would not have. But that's a choice you have to make. And again, it may involve a little bit of outlay up front, but you have to make that decision and know, what are you going to supply, what are you not going to supply, and then how are you going to get that for the people. Second strategy is, of course, the actual access. And most organizations use dozens and dozens of different applications on a daily basis for their actual daily business. And you need to make sure that your remote workers have access to that. And that could include, maybe using more cloud-based tools, which are easy to use and typically integrate and work with most of the common browsers, which versus having to go out and install or remotely install native applications on everybody's computer. So, you have to understand what is needed and what's the best use, cost benefit. You can consider some out-of-the-box solutions. There's Sococo, Mural, and Status Hero. Those are pseudo virtual office applications that give kind of a virtual office feel. And it's just something that helps keep people connected. I mean, you can certainly utilize tools again, Zoom, GoToMeeting, Skype for Business, Microsoft Teams. Just understand that whatever tool you're going to use, stick with it, roll with it, and understand it may take people a learning curve to understand how to use the tool effectively. Third, develop those remote work skills. It is a skill. It is a discipline for remote work. And it's fundamentally different than sitting at a desk in an office. There's the loss of the hallway chatter, the camaraderie, and just the experiences with colleagues. So it is a different animal unto itself. So understand it. There are some key skills that can help remote workers. One of them is work out loud. I'll post a link in the comments. There's a book called Working Out Loud. And the idea is that workers will narrate their work into digital tools, and it just helps with support, staying in touch, collaboration, aligning. It's just a way of that kind of thinking out loud for what you're doing and what's going on. Work coordination. Again, depending on the size of your business and the different things you have going on, you may have different projects at different stages, and you need to coordinate between employees what's happening. You can use Citrix, Airtable, Smart Sheets, just some way to coordinate the processes across your team. And no matter what it is, use the right mode of collaboration. That may be text, it may be chat, it may be Zoom, whatever it is, just be consistent with it and use it consistently. Fourth, cultivate a remote working culture and mindset. And just like you would in business before COVID-19 is, you want to have a culture that supports these remote workers, that allows your business mission to continue to move forward. So don't stop thinking that you have to develop this. It just it's altered a little bit, and you have to think about it from a remote worker mindset. And promote the open participation and inclusion. I have an article that I'll link to that highlights the anyone can participate mindset, and encourages everyone to join in. And you just have to have senior leadership buy-in. It has to start at the top and work down. Network leadership. There's an article I read by the corporate executive board that said that the network leader is now one of the most important skills modern executives must adopt. And that's just, our businesses and the world of technology is constantly in flux. Things are constantly moving. So you have to be able to adapt and move forward and learn these new tools to collaborate and work together. It's very much the world we live in is much more collaborative, much more network based, exactly what we're doing right now. So leaders must adapt and evolve with this as well. So what does all this mean for us, for your business? Well, it's a unique opportunity. It's a unique opportunity to evolve, to survive and thrive. It's a chance to ask for help in areas that you may need help. And MySpout works with businesses just like yours in developing and securing the technology that is involved with managing an on-site and a remote workforce. We sit down and we'll talk with you about this. In fact, I'm going to do a webinar on April 15th from 1 to 2. It's going to talk about some of these details a little bit more in depth and a couple other ideas. I'll have a link in the comments that you can sign up. Would love to see you there and help you out in any way that we can. And lastly, just don't become a business statistic. 60% of businesses will suffer data breaches, and with the environment we're in and just the amount of things I've already seen that are COVID-19 related attacks, don't be a statistic. Don't be part of the 60% or higher that will become a victim of a data breach. And out of those, 60% don't survive 6 months. Give yourself a chance to survive, to make it out on the other side and survive. Most importantly, stay healthy, stay safe. I look forward to seeing everybody on the 15th. And until then, I hope everybody has a great day.